Welcome to Paulstoolbox. Today we're going to cover some subsurface drainage. I've got about 70 feet right here, so I need to have about a 3.5 to 4 inch drop to get it to flow properly. Now, this really is not a big concern because water is just kind of sitting here and rotting out this the roots here. It's just sitting here too long. It's not like it's just backing up. So I'm really not too concerned about it as long as I have a slope. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to doing that. The first thing you want to do is get a straight line from your starting point to your finish point. And what I did was I took a 100-foot rope, just a nylon rope. I tied it to an object. I had a hammer, dropped it down in one spot, and pulled it till it was tight and lined up where I want to go. Then I took this spray paint can and I sprayed a line right next to the rope. That way I knew how to dig it straight. I wouldn't veer off and get a wild turn. If it's a little bit off, which I can see a tiny bit of curvature, I can still work it in that trench and I can shave off a couple of areas and still get it where I want it to go. Now you can use a flex pipe, but let me tell you something. The flex pipe, the problem with that is it has ribs in it and it'll follow the ground. So if your ground's a little low on one spot and a little high on another, you'll have puddles in there because it's going to follow it. The rigid pipe is going to stay straight and you'll just fill in the spots that are low when you go to fill it all in. So your main thing is you want to make sure you have a slope. Now, the slope that you really want on drainage should be a 1/2 inch per 10 foot, between that and 1 inch per 10 foot. So it doesn't really matter that much if you don't have a high flow of water coming out here. A 1/2 inch is plenty on here because it's just puddling up. Now if you had your gutters dumping into an area where you have a huge roof going into that and you have a catch basin, well, you'll want to have 1 inch per foot to get enough slope to get this to drain fast enough. This is going to be plenty fast enough for what I'm doing. So what you'll do is you'll take a ball or a marble, some type of super ball, anything like that that rolls real well. This is a glass ball. I'm going to take it and put my pipe down in my trench after I dug it out and I eyeballed it. I'll drop this marble in there, or this ball in there, and if it rolls downward, I'm good. I get to the other end of that, I set another piece and roll it as I dig. Once I get past the 10-foot length, I go to the next 10-foot length, I'll drop that ball down there. If the ball stays in one spot, I know I have to trench it out a little deeper. If it doesn't go anywhere, I know I have to trench the whole thing out. So you just kind of skim it out. And what you'll want is a shovel like this. This shovel right here is made for digging a trench out, okay? It's a little trench shovel. There's a couple of things that you will need. You want a spade shovel. I use this too because a pickaxe will allow you to dig if there's any objects in the ground, or if the ground's really hard, you can swing it down there and dig in deep. We had some roots in here. I dug out as many as I could with this, and the ones that I could not dig out, I took my reciprocating saw with an aggressive wood blade on it, and I just cut the roots. Now, if you have something huge, try to avoid it. Each length of pipe is going to have a bell on the end in order to accept the other one. It's straight on the other side and it has a little bell on the front side. So one pipe goes into this one and then this will go into the next one and so on. Here's my ball, I'll drop it in my first piece. I just drop it, you don't want to throw it. I can hear it rolling down here. It's going to come out. There you go. This one's right. So we'll take our next piece. As I said, I already dug this out. So all I'm doing now is checking it. Okay. It's sitting right here, so I need to dig out this little spot. I can hear it rolling. Boom. All right, now that it's out here, we'll go with our next length. I just have to skim this wall a little bit in order to get it to go straight. So we'll widen out this wall and test it out. You want to make sure that you get this thing in at least a couple of inches. So I want it to come to about there at least. So I'm going to mark it a little further. That way I'm going to go on the other end and I'm tapping it in. Like I said, I'm by myself. Actually, that's pretty far. If I come to here, I'm good. Work it in some, as much as I can, and I'll go back and tap it. That's good. I can see this is high, and this is where I'm going to put a Y in here because I'm going to branch off to add another screen on there, or another drain. We just skim this out, smooth it out. If you go too deep, you just put a little dirt back underneath it, and you'll be fine. We're going to call it quits for the night. You can see this goes all the way back. It didn't take me long at all. I did this in the evening, and I'll work tomorrow at the firehouse, so I'll come back the next day and knock this out. Right here we have a lemon tree. Just on the other side of that, it's a low spot, so I'm going to put a Y into here, and I'm just going to cut it, put the Y in there, and put a little drain on that end. So we're catching the low spot here and the low spot there, and it'll all run off into the ditch. The screw fell out of my reading glasses, so the next thing I do is I get my Mega Pro Original out. This has all different bits in the back. This is a 15-in-1 screwdriver, and these stay compact, so I can take and find the one I need, which is a 0. A lot of screwdrivers don't have that, but with Mega Pro, you can customize your screwdriver to have any bits you want in it. This happens to come with a 0. Mega Pro.